Welcome everyone to the Red December Cup number 5. My name is Peter Counterfeit Hartnell, here to bring you all of today's games. And what games might they be, you could well ask? Of ESL competition as we close out 2018. One more day to New Year's. Hope you guys are all doing well and you have made your arrangements for New Year's to give yourself a grand old time. For tonight though, we're gonna have ourselves our own good time, courtesy of our various teams who have shown up to play. So we've got ourselves a 7-team tournament because, you know, people have got things to get going on, but thank you guys for dropping by today's stream. We've got ourselves some pretty strong teams amongst those 7s. Coming in as our number 1 seed, Victory of Lords from France, fighting in the quarterfinals to go up against some other jokers versus Paragon, Oh My God versus NoobTubers, claiming to be from England, and Mid-Clan versus Motorsport. Our first match of today will be OMG versus the NoobTubers. They are already getting ready to start in on our first game of the day, so we shall waste not a moment more before we head onto the streets. Our tournament starting out already with a fantastically good matchup between two decorated teams. We'll see which of them advances forwards to face up against the winner of Mid-Clan versus Motorsport, the two American teams competing below them in the bracket. For any of you guys who'd like to be part of the viewing party, please do head across the ESL Modern Combat Discord. There you can join moderators Hunter and Big Gorilla in discussing today's game. So I've dropped the links to the Discord into the YouTube chat, so you guys can go and keep them company. Delightful fellas, who of course you'll be running across in the stream itself. So, veterans and the rest of the OMG squad starting things out. A little grenade to the face, never hurt nobody. We have seen you guys discussing about the idea of banning out the ERG, the weapon being used by Mide here. Very powerful, very popular at the moment, and for a good reason, as we see 3 people killed in a row. Very high fire rate, 1-shot kill, and of course that hip fire capability. Pretty good, huh? So far though, it's looking pretty darn even. So though Mide went from being one of the lowest scoring members to being one of the highest, you know how quickly things can switch around. Seeing a lot of heavy coming out here, and I think for good reason. That instant, pretty much instant kill with the slack can come out so quickly, and the explosions do make it a little bit confusing at times to know how to fight. So let's see, so YOLO rocking the BSW, which did receive some nerfs. Actually the top scoring player at the moment, so this does raise the question of whether or not the ERG is the most powerful gun, just because people are still using, and let me just tell myself a bit. They're still using themselves that BSW, and it's working out pretty darn well for them as well. Charging in and making a mess of the NoobTubers. Looking like it could be all over fairly quickly. With a lot of time left on the clock, neither of these teams hold back whatsoever of charging into one each other and tearing through. We have got Darren at the backside trying to hold the high ground for the NoobTubers, but it's not happening whatsoever. So Han doing a nice job with controlling the doorway with the slack, but eventually running out of firepower. Mide going charging in. Will take out veterans, but immediately slammed to the ground by that bombing run. Yellow doing a pretty nice job for the OMG side. We've got 3 of their members here with 9 or 10 kills apiece. So strong individual performances. Veterans keeps the good times rolling for OMG, though the tubers are trying their best to stay in the game. They are getting overwhelmed by the OMG brute force offensive strategy. that special, and you're looking to just clear out the last remaining NoobTubers here, because game 1 is swiftly won and done. OMG, take the first point of the tournament. And with that, let me just let our admin today know what's going on. As game 1 goes to OMG. And we will open up our first giveaway of the day. So if you want to win yourself a little pile of credits, a little thank you for watching the stream, head across to twitch.tv/modern combat and enter in hashtag RO16. That's RO16. If you want to enter in on that, let's bring up the details on the screen. And soon, gentle friends, one and all, not in 70 minutes, but in 7, we shall return with our second encounter between OMG and the NoobTubers. Stay tuned, and we shall be right back. Welcome back one and all. Our opening round continues with the teams switching sides. OMG were able to claim themselves the first game victory by going head to head with the NoobTubers, but even with two teams both acclaimed in MC5 history, only one can advance to the next round. Who shall it be? Will it be Mide and the rest of our good friends on the... Whoops, I tell a lie. Let's get it changed over. Whoa, there we go. OMG on the blue, NoobTubers over in the red. Apologies for the confusion. As the NoobTubers starting out this particular match looking pretty strong. Darren and the rest of the tubers so far yet to be struck with a single bullet. The veterans are able to change that and pick up two for themselves. Let's see what else they've got on the menu. So far, pretty even and brutal trading. Will of course put things in a good situation for the tubers to keep ahead just as they've accrued in the early going. So yes, Twitch giveaway remains in progress. We will be ending that Twitch giveaway fairly soon because we've got ourselves a more compact tournament today. So we'll be going through each of our 4 different giveaways on Twitch, then Facebook, then Mobcrush, and then YouTube. As the tubers are actually doing a pretty nice job of coming back here. Let's see. So we've got multiple members, Mide and Sahar, with some very solid records, and it looks like that early lead is getting further. But OMG do manage to fight back in the confines of Hangar 01, this structure you are seeing on the screen at the moment. However, the NoobTubers are able to fire back for themselves. So as we see here, the top scoring player along with Mide doing a real nice job, but we do have OMG with a couple of tricks up their sleeves, and one of those tricks is a bomber. Still behind by a way, but could keep the OMG team from dropping this second game. Special gonna use the terrain. Pretty smart, huh? Unfortunately drops the sights just a second before they would have picked up another kill. But hey, that's what we get to know with our overriding view of the battlefield. So tubers stay ahead for now. OMG, I think a little bit surprised by the sheer veracity. Veracity? Veracity. And veracity. The veracity of this claim cannot be disputed. Yes, please do head across to twitch.tv/modernCombat to get your entries in while you can. If OMG win out here, the Twitch giveaway will end. But if NoobTubers carry on, then my wayward folks, we will see ourselves a third game and an extended Twitch giveaway as well. Darren doing a good job as well. Solid, solid, solid. As the bombing runs continue to rain down. Of course, one of the things that's made the bounty hunter, which we've got Darren on at the moment, attractive is not just the fact that they've got a very potent rifle from the ERG, but also extra access to these kill streaks. We're seeing a lot of bombing runs, a lot of pain being deployed, and of course EMPs also taking to the fields. Let's see, so we've got a lot of ERGs, a BSW. Let's just duck around. I'm having a quick look and seeing what everyone's bringing to the field. Of course, actually, I can keep a lookout just on the kill feed. That's a little bit more of an efficient way. Looks like, I think, yes, all but one member of the NoobTubers bringing out that bounty hunter class. Work out pretty darn well for them. Ah, yes. There's a support player using my favourite weapon, the Hauser. I don't know if it's actually that good, but it's fun to use and it's got an enormously large clip. Special, we'll be able to deploy the health packs as well, but I think the choices made by NoobTubers to just stick to what the new hotness is the right one here, and that will award them with a second game point. So as I said before, the Twitch giveaway remains in place, but let's look at who scored those big numbers. It's going to be Darren by the end, who did get the most joint with Sahand. 14 kills apiece, but I think Sahand definitely takes that MVP for that round. So, gentlefolk, let's get ready for game number 3 between OMG and the NoobTubers, as our first round is, of course, going to be just as hot as all the others. Stay tuned, guys. We shall return with a decider game after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Our decider match between the NoobTubers and OMG begins this very moment in the museum. An edifice will be raised to commemorate whichever team falls at this stage. Of course, these tournaments are single elimination from each best of 3, so One last chance for the two titans of YouTubers and OMG to stay in the tournament. One game apiece, both teams looking dominant in their wins. But can they turn it further? Can either pull themselves over the finish line? Veterans charging in. YOLO making use of the imp. And we are seeing a little bit more of a variety. Well, I say this. OMG definitely making use of the bounty hunter heavily. But we've also got some heavy action coming in. Let's take a look across to the YouTuber side. So bounties for them. But also Darren going for the Cog V, his Salt class. And some snipers sneaking through as well. So definitely the meta at the moment is Bounty Hunter, but the team's bringing a little bit of variety to make sure they have just a little bit more flexibility on their terms of engagement. In exciting news, it's been confirmed that Hunter, one of our moderators, is from 1,000 years in the future. So that's exciting news. Hey Cosmo, over on Facebook, hope you're doing well. Nice to see you back again. You're here just in time to see YouTubers and OMG, two veteran Modern Combat 5 teams meeting in the first round of competition, one of which will go further on, but one of which we'll have to bid a tearful goodbye to. So, oh my god, venturing out from Honduras. And the YouTubers rocking themselves out of the United Kingdom for today. Although I believe they've been from France before, but hey, they get around. Well, we get the culmination of all of the games that have come before, as both teams dominated their individual games, and it looks like we're going to get a third game that goes all the way down to the wire. Again, asking on Facebook if I'm afraid the cross-platform between PC and mobile devices isn't possible because of how different the control schemes are between mouse and keyboard and playing on a mobile device. So I'm afraid you'll have to get both of you on one of those two systems to be able to play together. I'm sorry, my friend. But it is a deliberate decision made because PC players unfortunately do have themselves a massive advantage. Axel, whoops, that's a little bit embarrassing. Gonna bounce a grenade the wrong way around, but still maintains a pretty strong record. Sahand, the new player who is doing the lion's share of the new work at the moment. In fact, outstripping and nearly doubling the score of everybody else in the game. Deadly with our ERG, as we see from the kill feed, the YouTubers starting to get carried away in this third game on the museum. The long sight lines afforded by these corridors, which we can see Sahand walking up here, and we're just about to go into the corridor 2, making the ERG and other sniper rifles ideal. Center of mass shot. Still a definite kill. We'll check back in with Axel. Should have the advantage at close range, but unfortunately the bounty hunter still has the one-shot kill, even when hip firing. Ah yes, I can see people talking about the Hansel and Gretel guns for the Marauder. I think those did get buffed recently, and I haven't come across them personally, but I can imagine that they are particularly powerful. Hopefully at some point we'll go get the Marauder class into ESL competition itself, but right now it's looking like OMG are struggling to hold on to their place in the tournament. The tubers doing everything they need to. Let's go check back in with them. Xerx managed to land a melee kill before being immediately traded back on, but Mide able to keep things going with those kill streaks to put the tubers over the top. Gets the back. The ERG does have a slow bullet travel time, but it doesn't seem to slow down the kills that are generated while using it. It's a strange one when you end up using it yourself. But either way around it, the NoobTubers will be our winners, so that'll be that for them. And over on Twitch, Young Bambi Pro will be our Twitch giveaway winner. Please post your dog tag and platform. So congratulations to the NoobTubers and to Sahand in particular. Very strong play from them over there. So any of you guys who do win our giveaways today, please do provide both your dog tag and your platform, or you will not be able to do. We won't be able to get yourself your little credits thank you note. So, second giveaway over on Facebook. Head across to facebook.com/ModernCombat and enter in #quarter to the Facebook comments. Cosimo, Prestige is not allowed in the ESL competition, and also Tier 7 or below weapons is the limitation, as well as Tier 3 and below armor itself. If you'd like to find out more, then please do check out this page, which I'll post into all of the different places. If you go into the rules section there, it breaks down all of the various bits and pieces in place to try and make for the most competitive version of Modern Combat 5 possible. For now, we're going to make ourselves a break game while we wait for our next ESL match. So if you'd like to play on stream, please do use the passkey ESL123 if you want to come in and join on today's proceedings. So, Young Bambi Pro, you'll get 300 credits or so delivered in, I'd say, well, at this time of year, it can take a while to come through, so I'd say about a month or so. I know that is a while, but it's the kind of thing, if you forget about it, then eventually they'll just kind of show up on your doorstep, and you can, you know, just spend them on whatever you like. Just a little bit of a thank you for dropping by. Whew. Sahand, our MVP of last game. Welcome. Well, if you weren't already watching the stream, then welcome. But very solid performance in that last game. NoobTubers, lucky to have you as part of their lineup. Certainly outstripping anyone else in the game, and puts the NoobTubers in as a team to watch. For now though, we're looking for some players to play on stream during the break. So just to explain for anyone new to the stream, what we'll try and do between series is let you guys play in community games with each other on stream while we get the next match sorted out. Cosmo, so I believe you won yesterday, so same sort of thing. It's always going to be 300 credits or so, and then yeah, they'll turn up eventually. But do let us know if it doesn't show up in the next month, so I maybe put a note on the calendar. Then yeah, let us know, and I'll get in touch with the community manager Radu, who actually deals with the distribution of the codes via Gameloft internally. Though it's worth noting, I'm not a Gameloft employee myself. So, all I'm doing here is really passing names along. Let's see if we can fill ourselves up. I want to make sure I get at least 2 players on each team, so this game carries on all the way through the game. Subway, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can find just one more body. Ivy Nat. So this is Modern Combat 5. It's very similar to Modern Combat Versus, though it's made by a different branch of Gameloft. Gameloft has a lot of different branches. So the developers aren't actually shared between, but the community kind of is. So it's a little bit of a strange idea, but hopefully you'll enjoy this, even if you're a Modern Combat Versus player. Alright, I think we've got enough to get started with. So guys, do remember you can come and play on the on-stream break game whenever you please. For now though, we'll catch you on the flippity flop with more ESL action. Oh my gosh, that was a very close community game. You guys put on a fantastic showing for us. So, I have received word from Citrus, our ESL admin for today, that we've got ourselves a little bit of a break. So what I thought we might do, just to keep things as variety-full as possible, is to do a little bit of Battle Royale action, since it seems like a pretty good time. Yes, so can confirm, if you get onto Steam, you can play Modern Combat 5. If you guys would like to play as part of this Battle Royale, please do come and join me by queuing in now. And we'll just keep on going all the way through. And I would probably get in touch with Game Loft support and see if your device is one that is allowed for. I think from what I remember from the patch notes, the game is becoming more demanding over time, particularly with the Battle Royale. I mean, man, look at this landscape. That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous! I'm still a little confused how Game Loft have managed to pull off a Battle Royale in a game that wasn't designed to be a Battle Royale. But hey, I've never actually been up here. Oh, wait a second. Actually, forget the whole Battle Royale malarkey, because we've actually got ourselves another ESL match. NoobTubers versus Motorsport. So this will be our first semi-final of the day. Apologies for the confusion, guys. Hope any of you who did join that Battle Royale have a good old time either way, as we have business to attend to. So, got the pass key. Let's see if the players are all ready. Cosmo over on Facebook. The Battle Royale did just receive a relatively substantial update recently, which means that there's a lot more going on than there used to be there, so it's kind of fun. Looks like our Motorsport versus NoobTubers match isn't quite ready. We'll just hang out for a little bit, and hopefully everything will drop into place in just a few moments more. So, Motorsports, our number 2 seed coming into this tournament, beating out their country folk, the Mid Clan, in their quarterfinals, will now clash with the victorious NoobTubers, who put OMG down. The Honduran team will have to take a knee. While on the other side of the bracket, why am I telling you this? What I can just show you. On the other side of the bracket, Victory of Lords, with their bye through to the first round, are now facing off against Paragon. The winner of each of these semi-finals, of course, will be going through to our best of 5 grand finals itself. Sebak, it would be useful to have a translation option for live chat. I agree. I very much agree. I think that would be fantastically useful. Hopefully that will happen at some point. It seems like one of those things that kind of... it's a little confusing why it doesn't already exist. Alright, I believe our lobby is up. Our players not quite ready as of yet. But Cosmo, I definitely recommend, even though the beta isn't done yet, the game is still pretty fun, honestly. That's one of the reasons why I play it on stream, because it's pretty entertaining to watch, and it's only getting better as it goes. One of the big things about them having the beta in the client is that you can kind of, once you play the game, it will come up and ask you for feedback, and you can try and get yourself sorted out with making sure that the Battle Royale mode fits to your Battle Royale preferences as closely as possible. So our teams are pretty much ready to go for our next ESL encounter. NoobTubers over in the red, the American team. Motorsport over in the blue. We'll see if Motorsport can put up just as fierce a fight as OMG. Also, for any of you guys who'd like to join our viewing party on the ESL Modern Combat Discord, please do head across to their Discord link in the chat. You can join with Big Gorilla, Ramiro-Sama, and Hunter, talking about today's proceedings. But for now, all eyes turn to our first semi-final of the day. NoobTubers versus Motorsport. Current giveaway, and is on Facebook. Let me just pump that out to all the platforms one more time as we get into game once more. Heading onto Scramble, the place of 1,000 sniping locations. Cosmo, good thought about the Battle Royale. If you play it and do the feedback form, you can definitely put that directly through to the developers. And they're actively working on the map at the moment. I don't know how many people they've got working on it, but they've done a lot in a short amount of time. The New Year's period has caused a little bit of a break from development, of course, as you might expect. But for right now, let's focus in on this team deathmatch on Scramble and see which of these will take the early advantage. Certainly, first blood falling across to Kevin, the legendary Kevin. Yes, Anch. Yes, I do remember that it's the same person, MT5 to Hacksaw. Faltu? Yes. Well, I mean, it's a fair comment to say that Battle Royale is very much, you know, the current hotness as far as video games goes, but honestly, I feel like the Battle Royale mode that Gameloft have put out, it's a lot better than it has, you know, it has a right to be, considering it's based on a game that wasn't intended to be a Battle Royale mode from the beginning. But yeah, I don't know, hopefully you guys enjoy it, and again, as I said, there's the opportunity to directly feedback to Gameloft when you play it. So, if there's anything you'd like to see added, as Cosmo said, like particular areas or particular mechanics from other Battle Royale kind of games, now's the time to get it put in, and hopefully make the Modern Combat 5 Battle Royale pretty fun. So far, looking pretty darn even between the two, as Kizaru almost gets traded back on, just about gets out. Cosmo, you should get the feedback request after you come out of a Battle Royale game. I don't think it always comes up, but it comes up most times for me, I believe. Though it's possible the randomness may just have played out in a particular way here. Because he's Xerix taking another hit from that terrifying Kevin monster who's been keeping Motorsport up so far. Top score for them, and Kizaru as well. Trade across, Kevin get to see their teammate fall, but with the BSW. I saw some of you guys talking about the travel time with a bullet for the ERG. It certainly looks slower, though someone in the comments was saying that even though it looks slow, it is an instant kill. So perhaps we can fire up some more discussion about that, because certainly right now we're still seeing people using the BSW doing very well, and I don't know if with the ERG bullet travel time, if it's possible to actually avoid being shot. So once upon a time there was a survey. Well, tell you what guys, what I'll do is I'll try and get a hold of a link to the survey itself next time we do a Battle Royale in my browser, and I'll post it all over the chat to try and get as much feedback as possible. I think that will work, hopefully. I don't know if it's an individualized link, but I would be surprised if it was. So, who do we need to watch? It's gonna be Saras, man. Why so Saras? 6-0 so far for the NoobTubers. I wonder if that's the player from before, just under a slightly different name. Because that's a very similar name to before. I think it was Sahand, was it? I'm going back up through mine. Going back up. Oh yes, it's Sahand. I think it's probably the same person. Hunter. So Hunter providing the intel that if you use the extra health and damage reduction cores, then you can potentially survive a shot from the ERG. So any of you guys who are watching for the first time, in ESL competition we use only tier 3 armor, which means each of the player only gets access to 2 cores. So you'll notice that most of the players are running around with 100% health. It used to be the case that nearly everyone would have a lot more health than that because you had access to 4 or even I think 5 cores to play with, but now the choices have to be very deliberate. And Saras doing a real nice job for the tubers. The motorsport team starting to fall seriously behind. Ah, there we go. Hunter's confirming that the ERG-10, it's possible to avoid it, but I think you probably have to anticipate being shot. Well, Anch knows a lot about the individual teams, but I think Hunter's got some good intel on the game mechanics. So thank you guys for all of your help. You're all my co-casters here today. Very much appreciate everything all you guys can throw into the chat to help the cast be a rich and target-filled environment. 3 kills do come in for the motorsport side of things though, as the monstrous one Kevin been taking a lot of deaths as well. Let's see, Kizaru, yeah, so Kizaru and Kevin, the 2 top bananas for the motorsport side, but they are struggling to stay in the game at all because they're getting taken out so often. NoobTuber's going to get charged down by the ferocious one Kevin, but will fall down into the ground. Darren going to get flanked by the Kizaru as they charge through. Wow, a Bramston being used. That's not something we see too often. But does fall to the power of the one-shot kill. You'll see Saras operating from longer range, that hip fire. Sevak over on Facebook enjoys getting kills using the Imp S. I think that is a lot of fun as well. I do like that flexibility of not having to necessarily hit all the time. That is... oh, that's right. So Hunter, yes, confirming what I was saying before. That one of the tier 5 armors did have... oh, I see, yes. Reading it properly. So once the tier 5 armors did have 5 cores, and then it got set down to 4, and now we're down to just 2. It's one of those instances where less can be more by forcing each of your choices to be more significant. But what's significant right now is the NoobTubers take that first game, a lot of that sound down to Darren's individual performance, and a strong showing from Saras, who I'm not sure if there's a hand. I think probably. Sahan's in the chat so they can confirm. Or, I don't know, well, possibly Sahan was taking a break in that game. I'm not sure. Either way around it, the NoobTubers take the first game of victory. And our Facebook giveaway remains in place. When this series is done, then we will be dropping through our Facebook winner as well. So get your entries in while you can. Hashtag Quada into the Facebook comments of our current video on facebook.com/modern-combat. For now, stay tuned. We shall return as Motorsport and the NoobTubers will clash again after the break. Alright. Game number 2 between the Noob Tubers and Motorsport is here. Hope you're all ready for a fine performance from both sides of the equation. Construction site, our destination. Let's see with, I believe, yes, the hand making a return. So I think, yeah, that must be just the, I was wondering if the hand was playing under a different name, but I think it was. It's just the NoobTubers have got a deep roster of potent players and we're able to keep the good times rolling. Kevin, remember from before, along with Kizaru, forming the central power points of the motorsports lineup. This time, Chete from the far with the Imp, providing some fire support to back up the team. Motorsport definitely looking a lot more comfortable in game number 2. DZ, I think, coming in between games. See what else is on the table. I think the NoobTubers, I think, might be a little bit caught off guard by how well Motorsport have been playing in this second encounter. Let's see. So, yes, Kevin, the chosen one of Motorsport, with the ERG in hand. Cosimo, thank you for your kind words about my various different accents. The Southern accent is definitely the one which I have the most fun using. I have no idea if it's anywhere actually near a real one, but I just enjoy making the noises. Kevin continues to creep around the construction site and pour in points for the Motorsport side. Ludicrously good performance so far, managing to break through again and again through the defensive line of the NoobTubers, access their chewy underbelly and harvest point after point. Sahand? Ah, FBI Army Man. Yes, I think you're right that the that they have changed a lot of their lineup out, because I don't recognize anyone but Kizaru and Kevin from their lineup. At least if they were in the last game, they didn't end up with the majority of the scores. Hey Hunter, over on the Twitch page. Facebook giveaway will be concluded if the NoobTubers win out this game, or just like before, Motorsport could extend not only their chances, personally speaking, but the giveaway itself if they win out this second game and keep the NoobTubers from booking their ticket to the finals themselves. EMP dropping down as Bang makes good on the promise of that name. Oh boy, I think, well, using the Commander class, very unusual in ESL competition. Has been legal for a while, but doesn't tend to get used except under very specific circumstances. Motorsports keeping up with the NoobTubers right now. Only a single kill, no, not even that, separating the two teams. A very close second game, just what we like to see. And apparently Motorsports, just like the NoobTubers, with a deep enough roster to pull upon when the time is right. Kevin goes charging and take out Yumari, but taken down by friend of the stream, yours and mine, before Bang comes in and cleans up, courtesy a lot of grenades. Cosmo, I'm certain you're right. I don't know if anyone's got any stats anywhere. Maybe I should start gathering stats about the particular teams and how well they do on individual maps, because it makes an enormous amount of difference as to which strategies are the most effective. NoobTubers go charging in, dead even between the two as we close in on the last part of the game. No way we see that timer tick down to 0, but a very good chance of seeing 50 kills reached. Hopefully, with a close run all the way up to the end, just as it has been for the majority of this match. Charging in from the Tubers, looking to lock down a few more points. Motorsports get eclipsed in that last encounter, will need to move in. Kevin, the one to watch, 22 kills so far. Ludicrously good, but hey, making it happen. Sivak, you can watch on Facebook, YouTube, Mob Crush, or Twitch. They're all the same content. Oh my gosh, as Bang comes in and Motorsport take the lead. Now ahead by 3. NoobTubers and Motorsport, they've each got the one fight remaining in the game. The NoobTubers can't afford to take any kills at all. His hand trades across. Now the NoobTubers down to a single one. Kevin with nearly half the team's kills, but Kizaru, the other outstanding member, picks up one more, and we are going through to a game 3 between NoobTubers and Motorsport. FBI Army Man, what's the OG ESL team? Oh, you're talking about just them in general? The OG ESL teams? So, standout performer, definitely going to be Kevin from that game. Amazing performance, but Saras doing well. One more game between these two. Our Facebook giveaway will be drawn very, very soon. So stay tuned. Keep your entries coming over on Facebook. We'll do a quick Mob Crush giveaway after this as well, before moving on to YouTube for our final one of the day. Third game, the decider between NoobTubers and Motorsport, coming up after the break. Welcome back, one and all. Our semi-final is here. NoobTubers versus Motorsport in a battle of oil. Don't know why I said that. It just made sense at the time. One game apiece. Kevin, the devil made flesh, as Kizaru and Devin, the two star players in the Motorsport team, backed up by Bang, Sosa, and DZ in this game. Motorsport managed to win out the last game. It was very close up towards the end, and a brutal exchange of firepower to start us off with. The close confines of the sweet old streets lend themselves to the shotguns and the grenade launchers. You can hear the concussive sound of all those grenades and explosions rocking the streets to their very core. Both teams slamming into each other with the force of a freight train and not slowing down for a second. Just an absolute meat grinder on the inside of this central building. Whew. Respawn's finally forced the two teams apart to the range where it's not an instant kill. Sahan will miss out on that last one because of a nice escape across the wall. But inside and outside, it's hellacious, it's murder most horrid. As Bang with the tier 5. Boy, I've never seen anyone using that before. We'll be able to reset off the overload, stay alive, and go on with more murder. I haven't seen anyone using the morph for absolutely ages since the lack was banned, but apparently the tier 5 is alright. Fascinating stuff. So Kizaru not performing as much as before, but it's going to be Sosa who just about survives their last encounter with the top score for the Motorsports team. Yes, I imagine Capture the Flag works pretty well on the streets. I'm still pushing for Game Loft to include a Capture the Flag specific map, but I suspect it's going to be a long time coming, if at all. Maybe just a modified version of the existing maps might be more practical. Motorsports start to build up the steam as Bang, using this mysterious tier 5, looks like shotgun-like weapon on the morph, doing pretty darn well for themselves. So the morph, if it gets killed, or if you would take lethal damage, you get a melee through instead to reset and stay alive. And of course, because with the only 2 cores available, pretty much everybody's dropped the net guard perk or core, which made melee kills impossible. Motorsport with a massive lead over the NoobTubers. Let's check back in across the board. Sosa on the heavy does take the worst of that exchange, will be able to turn it right back into at least a trade kill as Kevin emerges from their slumber to take the lead on the team I strongly suspect. Yes, along with Bang doing a fantastic performance. I wonder if other people might start using this tier 5 morph. It's working pretty darn well for them. Kevin relying on the old classic ERG, and with that, Motorsport will take our first place in the Grand Finals. Congratulations, Motorsport. Very well done for yourselves. So, let's see about getting ourselves a Facebook winner. do you mean? Okie dokie. Let's make sure I can tag you correctly. Just a second, and hopefully. A moment, please. Well, while I get that sorted out, we will be opening up our giveaway on Mob Crush. So please do head across to there. mobcrush.com/modern combat if you want to get in on that. Let's see. Alright, well, I'll get that sorted out in a second, so just having a few technical problems over here. For now, please do get your entries in on Mob Crush quickly, because we're only going to run it for the duration of the first finals game. So, Victory of Lords, well, actually, I'll bring us back to the brackets to have a quick look through that. So, Victory of Lords waiting in the finals for Motorsport, which means our grand finals will start very, very soon. Our Mob Crush giveaway on mobcrush.com/modern combat, which we'll have up on the screen now, will continue for only the first game of that grand finals before we move on to YouTube itself. So get over there quickly, drop in your entries, and maybe find yourselves just a little pile of credits to spend on keeping yourself warm in this all winter time. For now though, guys, stay tuned. I'll just get our Facebook winner sorted out in hopefully a few moments more, and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back, gentle friends. Our finals beckons. Let's see if we can sneak in a battle royale. Just before we do, though, please do come and join me on the battlefield, and we'll see if we can get things started. So, guys, you'll have hopefully about 30 seconds or so to join the game before we get going, as we look to fill our time on stream before we get into our grand finals itself. So guys, let me know. Where you'd like me to drop in 10 seconds time. Because, oh, hello. Let's see what we're doing. So, let's go for... let's see where everyone else is dropping. I think North Village. I like North Village. It seems like a fun place. A fun place to hang out. Alright, let's get going. Whoops, that wasn't what I meant to do. Well, that's going to make it a lot easier for other people to find me. Ooh, excellent. So we've got ourselves... Well, that didn't work out very well. Well, man, we suck. Alright. Let's try that again. Oh wait, maybe not. Because we've got ourselves a passkey. That may in fact worked out pretty darn well. Yes! So stress, the team captured the Victory of Lords has got us the passkey, in which case we'll be getting in there. So do remember, guys, that our giveaway on Mob Crush will be very short. It will only last the duration of the first game, whoever wins out, as we prepare ourselves for our grand finals. Thank you for suggestions for Airport, East and Harbour from Hunter and Cosmo over on Facebook. We'll try and pick those up a little bit later on. For now, though, Motorsports, fresh off their victory against the New Tubers, will now face the Victory of Lords squad in a best of 5 competition. Yep. It's about time to see the very best of the tournament, our last Modern Combat 5 tournament of 2018. Who will stand victorious? Will it be Victory of Lords with their history of success, or the upstarts, the pretenders to the throne, Motorsport themselves? Yes, Cosmo, we did get killed extremely quickly. I think if I'd actually zoomed in, we might have been able to kill someone at some point, because we pretty much had them dead to rights, but still, no good. Alright guys, so prepare your hype for the grand finals. This first game on the construction site will begin once all the players are ready. Of course, we will be drawing our Mob Crush winner soon. We'll move then onto YouTube, and we'll see if we can sneak in a battle royale or two, because those are very kind of drop in, drop outable. Alright guys, stay tuned. We're waiting on our players, and then we'll get going with our grand finals. One and all, welcome. Our best of 5 begins here. Victory of Lords versus Motorsport. Only one team can stand up at the very top of the heap and claim those $100 dindos as a prize, as well as top seeding for our December monthly tournament, which will come sometime in January or February, where the prizes are quintupled, going from 100 for the weekly tournaments up to 500. So Victory of Lords certainly coming to this one as favourites, as our #1 seed, and have looked pretty dominant so far. Winners of, I believe, yes, the last 3 tournaments preceding this one. It has been an era of Lords in our Mortal Kombat 5 Red December Cups. But perhaps the time of the Lords could come to a close if Motorsports could upset, just like they did to our beloved YouTubers in the semi-finals. We shall see, because certainly right now things are looking pretty even. And you have to know when you're the team on top that every team's time in the sun is limited, and just maybe the strong opening round performance from Machete and Kizaru, perhaps Motorsports can be the ones to knock the Lords off of their pedestal and break the streak. Let's see, who are our top bananas? So May seems like the one to watch there, using the ERG. No surprises. Does get taken down to 12% health. Takes out Kizaru though, with a little bit of a ventilation. So you got some fans of the Helix. Felix, one of the fans of the Victory Lord squad in the chat, and certainly you would be well deserved to be a Victory of Lords fan. They have performed consistently for a long time. I think Fancy showing off one of the new camos available in this latest patch. A little bit of lava in our lives. As Stress also. Wait, what's Stress using? Oh, Stress is using the same lava flavored ERG. Makes the bullets not do much more damage, but does make them more delicious if you're eating them like marshmallows. Let's see, so for the side of Vol, we're looking for May to perform, and they've evaded death more than a few times. Of course, with the insta-kill of the ERG, you're still able to get a good amount of damage out even when on low health. Motorsports lead starting to be chipped away at. Kizaru, who's picked up the majority of the team's kills, doing relatively well, but wait a second, Vol start to pull ahead themselves. Fancy taking down Kevin as well. Apparently those hot rifles provided them just the edge they need. Ah, Hunter. Helix is a Vol member. Interesting. Oh boy. I should come and consult with you guys before each game. The things you know. Halfway mark has been reached. Motorsport and Victory of Lords both very closely matched. We said Victory of Lords expected to see them be more dominant here, as Motorsport looked like they could well be a team to really challenge the supremacy of the French squad, the Victory of Lords. Yeah, but do a little bit of research while this is all going on. So team owner Sosa, you can see in the #5 position, and Kizaru, the team captain. Let's see, so it looks like, I'm going to have a quick double check and see if Sosa, team owner, owns any other teams or is a member. Oh, from Kumo! So that's not the same players. Interesting. So there's a lot of interpollination between teams in the Mortal Kombat 5 esports scene, as Motorsports find themselves in a commanding lead. And a lot of that down to Sosa, who, like Kizaru, has got a lot of kills, but has kept those deaths on the down low, making sure that Motorsports' ratio continues to be impressive. Victory of Lords behind by 6 with just 2 minutes left on the clock. Those kill streaks are going to be starting to flood out into the field to cement a motorsport victory as Kizaru gets stuck in on the outside. Laying down the firepower will be shot off their feet by Fancy. As Victory of Lords, they have to make the decision here. Do they move forward aggressively and risk the game, or do they sit back and just get picked off all the way to the finish line? Still behind by 6 as Motorsport are one team fight wipe away from victory. Fancy goes in, takes out Kevin, traded back straight away by Kizaru. Motorsports are in total control of the inside, but Stress going to lead in one last charge for the Victory of Lords team. Looking through, May taken out, having to reload, switching to the backup, falling down, and Motorsport start the beginning of the upset. One more kill, and there we go with an 8-kill advantage. Motorsport seize control of the first game of the Grand Finals. So look at those numbers. Kizaru definitely a big player, but for the side of Vol, you can see those KDAs close to 1 or even below that. You need to keep those deaths on the down low, perhaps playing a little too aggressively from the Victory of Lords side. So let's get our Mob Crush giveaway sorted out. So our Mob Crush winner will be MC5 Gamer Pro. Please post your dog tag and platform. So MC5 Gamer Pro over on Mob Crush, congratulations. We'll be opening up our YouTube giveaway in just a few moments more. Let me just update all the links to the current stream. Because gosh darn it, YouTube, it changes every single time. So back, suicide kill by wrong placement of the grenade is the most embarrassing condition. Yes, we've seen that happen. It's really affected some very big games being played in our ESL competition. When someone goes for an aggressive grenade placement, takes themselves out, and ends up in a bad old time. Let me just update the YouTube link. There we go. So if you guys watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Mob Crush, please do head across to YouTube, drop your entry into the chat, because we are on the road to the upset of the month, perhaps of the year. Certainly the last one of the year if it happens. Motorsports, with the one game in hand, will need to lock down 2 more to chuck out Victory of Lords, break the streak, and seize the final tournament of 2018 for themselves. Will the upstarts continue to impress? We shall see after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Motorsport versus Victory of Lords. You can see the Victory of Lords squad making their way out of Hangar 01. They're looking to break themselves onto the map in general. So, Motorsport 1/3 of the way to creating an upset over our three-time winner. Our three-time recent tournament winner, Victory of Lords. What do you guys think? Will we see a full upset here, or will Victory of Lords veterancy win out their leadership under stress? Or Kevin, the monster made flesh, will they be too much for the Victory of Lords team to handle? Remember from before? May, one of the better performers on the Victory Lords squad, now dancing around with pistol in hand, switching back across to the ERG as Danny rejoins the lineup. And oh my gosh! 3 Victory of Lords teams in just as many heartbeats. Cheeto from long range will get traded across for Kizaru, but Victory Lords again come out the best of that last trade, and Kevin and the rest of the Motorsport team start to see why the Victory of Lords team have performed so well for so long. Finals viewing party in the ESL Discord if you guys want to get in on that. Head across to the voice channels if you'd like to join moderators Hunter and Big Gorilla in discussing your thoughts on the grand finals themselves. Of course, making some new friends. They're pretty cool guys. Time at the bar. Victory of Lords looking pretty darn solid here. I should get some more things to make sound effects with. As May, we mentioned from before, the centerpiece of the Victory of Lords comeback. Across the whole team though, they're all looking pretty darn good. We've got multiple members here with just, well, when there's only 2 kills in the game, then there's not many deaths to go around. May, insta-snipe, insta-kill, Motorsport getting almost shut out of the game. Kizaru with 2/3 of the team's kills, and when that number is 2, it's not good news if you're a Motorsport fan. Of course, Victory of Lords, I would expect to have more fans in the audience just because of having been around and been successful for so long. Kevin and the rest of the Motorsport team start to pick up some kills. Victory of Lords not managing to lock them down entirely. It was looking pretty brutal up until this point, but with Kizaru disconnecting, that's a large part of the puzzle for Motorsports that they are going to be playing with just missing. Kevin desperately scanning across scramble while the rest of the team is picked apart around them. Kevin getting flanked there by May. Victory of Lords are just squashing Motorsports in this second encounter. I think Victory of Lords perhaps awoken from their slumber by the possibility of being taken down by these upstarts. Certainly the technical problems preventing Motorsport from fielding their full roster are not going to increase their chances of winning, especially when it is one of their centerpiece players. Chete gets their first kill after 6 deaths to keep Motorsport from completely floundering, but Victory of Lords, I think, are going to end up pushing the Motorsport team right back into a corner here. Kizaru back in circulation, but the damage has already been sustained. Motorsport down by 11 kills. A terrifying proposition against such a high quality team of the Victory of Lords. The American squad, Motorsport, they've impressed so far. That first game win was a shocker. But it's not just about the individual games, it's about the series themselves. It's about how well you can motivate your team to keep on playing at their highest possible capacity. And one of those players is Kevin, along with Kizaru, the 2 center point players for Motorsport. which need to stay on point. Their performances need to stay extremely high-end for Motorsport to stand any kind of chance. Kevin picks up one. Motorsport starting to salvage the game. Of course, if you are a particularly evil Victory of Lords team, you're looking to try and draw out this game as long as possible while you remain heavily in the lead. The possibility of being able to drain the Motorsport team as they try and salvage an unsalvageable game is there. Of course, there is always a potential if a cat or a team plays with its food, then we could even see Motorsport. What do I keep saying? Motorsport coming back. Similar name from different games. Certainly, we have got, well, as we see here from the Victory Lords, we've got our gentry in the ESL competition. We've got teams who've got, been around for an enormously long amount of time. Team Captain Stress apparently has done enough to motivate the Victory Lords team into this game, though not the strongest individual score by any means. That's coming down to Cheeto and Founcy, the two heads of Vol, who've been doing the lion's share of the work. Cheeto chasing around Kevin and puts them down, and Victory of Lords are looking to get themselves an even more convincing win than Motorsport did in game number 1. And with that, we're all tied up, 1 apiece. Our YouTube giveaway will run until we are done today. So guys, stay tuned. Again, if you guys want to join in with the viewing party, head across to the ESL Discord. But for now, we will get set up for our 3rd game of the Grand Finals, with both teams having 1 game apiece. This will be the turning point before we head towards the last part of the finals following that. We'll be back in just a few moments more. Welcome back, gentle friends, one and all. Our grand final continues with our next encounter between Motorsports and Victory of Lords. So, Motorsports surprising everybody with their first game win. Now, a second chance, a second crack at the whip. A third game between these two. But which one will take the lead in this series? Certainly Victory of Lords looked a lot more alive in game number 2. But we've seen already that Motorsports, given an opening, can run a Kevin-sized truck through that opening. I don't know if that's Kevin in the chat at the moment or just someone else with the same name. Whew. As Kevin takes out Bouncy and Motorsports, however temporarily, bring themselves back into the lead. So first minute down and minimal kill numbers. Both teams taking the measure of one another as they will be throughout this best of 5, learning to not take each other at all lightly. May, probably the one to watch in this game based off our previous encounters between Victory of Lords and everybody. Let's see. So Danny taken out by Kizaru. They're traded back on straight away. May going to be charging up the stairs, looking for that quick scope. Can't quite find it, and Kizaru knocks them down, charging it further forward, but will be eliminated. Kevin goes charging into the Victory of Lords side of things, but it ultimately ends up with a relatively even trade. May switching now across the ERG, realizing that shotgun-like nature of the unnerfed ERG is enough to get him going. Wow, nice shot as well there. I don't know if that was a quick scope so quick we couldn't even see it, or just a no scope at all. May taking out Kizaru puts Victory of Lords back into parity, but Sosa off the backside gets one of their own. Let's throw up the map and see how these guys are doing. So we've got the Motorsport team up in control of the upper bounds of Vantage, that's of the central point, with DZ providing long-range fire support. Let's see, so it is going to be Kevin again, shouldering most of the burden of the Motorsport performance. But Sosa getting a nice pickup on Team Captain Stress. They go charging in Cheeto, doing a good job of equalizing, but no, just like that, Motorsport and Kizaru, Team Captain, are able to bring themselves back in, swinging back and forth. Yes, I don't know if it's actually Kevin, the person playing. If they're playing and also watching the stream at the same time, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Last giveaway on YouTube at the moment. Hashtag finals if you want to get in on that one. As Motorsports seem to have recovered from their game 2 loss against the Victory of Lords squad. Kizaru and Kevin both managing to find a lot of kills, but it's actually DZ who kind of slept on in this game, who's got a fantastic score, will get cut down by Stress in that last encounter. The Motorsport on the right trajectory to put themselves within reach of claiming this week's cup for themselves. Kevin continues to look strong, but does get picked off. The Vol team down to just 4 members. Connection issues. Let's see, so who are we missing there? At least not May and not Stress. We'll see when they reconnect. Hoot, if you'd like to enter in ESL competition, I just head across to the ESL site. Sign up for a team if you've got them there, or if you haven't, head across the ESL Discord. Right, anyway, back to proceedings. Is looking like Motorsport, they may well have recovered their feet after the game 2 loss. Go charging in. Kevin, still absolutely monstrous, will finally fall down, but the Victory of Lords team looking a little rudderless here in this third game. Have to decide if they're going to commit the effort in of recovering a game which, just like for Motorsport in the previous game, looks unrecoverable. Kevin's still the one to watch with the ERG poised and ready, lurking, using the terrain here very cleverly to set themselves up with a little pillbox, a little slit to fire through. Very hard to respond to. Kevin lurking, waiting for Stress to come around the corner, and insta gives them the moment that they do. Good ambush there, though. Danny will take revenge for their fallen leader. Motorsport making good use of the commander as well. When you're fighting in these confined quarters, commander can be extremely good at just giving your team the time it needs to get to close quarters with the rest of the squad. Motorsport 2 kills away from finalizing this game through victory, and there we go. DZ, the secret OP of Motorsport, pushes them over the edge, and our Motorsport are up 2-1. Very close to closing out. Oh, it's Founcy, that's right, who's missing from the Victory of Lords side. So some connection issues for Victory of Lords put it beyond repair in game number 3. But it does mean we're in a situation now where if Motorsport can do it one more time, they will become our champions of the day, break the Victory of Lords streak, and provide us with a massive, massive upset in our grand finals. Only one way to find out though, and only one way to win. If you are viewing, then instructions on the screen. As, yes, I think some heated discussion developing in the chat about the different strategies on deploy. I personally speaking, when we're talking about competitive play, I would say any strategy that is permitted by the rules is valid, and if it works well and your team's not using it, then honestly, maybe you should be. If camping works, then it should, it's kind of one of those situations that if camping is the best strategy, then you should be using the best strategy. There are no, well, in this particular case, there are no prizes for second place. Victory of Lords have got a hell of a job on their hands. We'll have to win both of these next 2 games to become champions. Whereas for Motorsport, one more will do it. Guys, we are getting ready for our 4th Grand Finals game, so stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment with our pre-game lobby. Gentle friends, one and all, welcome yourselves, sit down, pull up a chair, and witness what could be our final encounter of the day. Motorsport versus Victory of Lords. It's gonna be ourselves a slobber knocker. I don't know, that sounded a bit weirder than I thought it was going to. A little bit tired, a little bit wired. We have ourselves a do or die game for Victory of Lords. As I said, and I'll say it again, Victory of Lords with continuous wins in the recent memory in the weekly tournaments, now having the upstarts here coming in and trying to tear all that away from them. Has the time of the Lords come to an end? The era of majesty could be torn asunder. Victory of Lords, of course, will throw absolutely everything at Motorsports to make sure that doesn't happen, and at least force us through to a game number 5. So, let me recap, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. Victory of Lords down 1-2. May, their strongest consistent performer on the team. Kevin, however, monstrous. I heard they make movies about Kevin because they are a movie monster made manifest. As Victory of Lords start to build up ahead of steam, they are fighting for survival, they're fighting for their legacy. Motorsports are fighting to tear it all away from them. EMP gonna drop down. Victory Lords still looking strong here. Team Captain Stress leading by example. Gonna fill the Motorsport team full of holes. Has the backup from the other members, but Soso and Kizaru get charging in. DZ, the one from the previous game we had to watch, but not in this game apparently. It's all moving back into the hands of Kevin. Victory Lords pick up more and starts to try, well, continue to look good in this 4th of a potential 5 games, but that gap between the two teams, not where the Victory Lords would like it to be. They love to be rolling away with this game, just as they did back in game number 2, but perhaps that won't be possible. Mousesport, oh boy, Afty, I'm going to put that name in caps so I can remember to say it correctly. I apologize, my brain not working correctly. Motorsport, there we go. Doing a fantastic job of going head to head with the Titanic Victory of Lords lineup. But it's seemingly slipping further and further away from the American squad. Playing in the blue this time. 4 minutes left on the clock. Victory of Lords looking pretty darn good here. Stress and Founcy, both with a 10-4 record. The kind of performance of Victory of Lords needs to keep consistent. They want to put this one to bed and send the nightmare of Motorsport far, far away. A storm is brewing. Gentle viewers. And I, for one, wouldn't want to be one of those standing in the way. Victory Lords keep the points sliding in. Founcy with that lava-flavoured shooting, won't manage to get any more right there and then. But Stress with that shotgun, quick to dispatch DZ, whose performance has gone from being outstanding to falling off a cliff in this game for Victory of Lords. Just like that, with almost with a 10 kill, no they will, an 11 kill advantage. Lockdown game number 4. Friends from around the world, we are going to a game 5 to see if Motorsport can dig down deep and continue to pressure Victory of Lords, potentially all the way out of the finals. Let's take a look down there. So again, Team Captain Stress, you cannot ask any more of your team than you are willing to do yourself, performing admirably, and Founcy as well. We'll see if Motorsport can recover. Said DZ, the hero of the last game, struggling mightily on conversion. We have to get ready, though, for that final game. So stay tuned, guys. We shall return in hopefully a lot less than 7 minutes for our final game of Modern Combat 5 in ESL Competition of the Year, coming up after the break. Gentle viewers, one and all, welcome to the finals. Motorsport, victory of lords, only one will stand, one will fall. Yes, Xerxes, it's time to head for one last night at the museum in 2018. Let's see if the consistency issues of motorsport can be fixed for this one final game. We've seen both, well, honestly, we've seen both teams performing extremely well and then very poorly as Kizaru, wow, snipes their way through the entire victory of Lord's lineups and makes our decision to watch their play. Very much worthwhile. Kizaru going to fight past the old big head, slides out. Maybe not the best idea. Victory Lords trying to come back in and stem the bleeding as Danny covers the top part with the BSW. Stress, one of those top bananas and team owner and leader of the Victory Lords side, does get tagged, will go down low, just almost gets wall banged there, but survives the experience, will get the chance to heal back up again, but Will has found themselves in a nest of Vipers, and as Vipers are the motorsports team. So Kevin starting out solidly, but it is definitely Kizaru with that pitch perfect point sniping action, who's got the majority of the early kills, so has taken a lot of deaths as well. Has the backup there from Chete to help them push up further into Victory Lord's territory, but Danny is there, steps out from behind the wall and instantly gives, oh my gosh, wow, Danny performing out of their mind, rocking the dragon logo, spots multiple members of Motorsport there, thinks, yeah, maybe not. Finally gets overrun by Kizaru, but still will stay with Danny for now because they've been doing fantastically up until this point. Victory Lords cresting the 20 kill mark are starting to get themselves into more comfortable territory, but you can never become comfortable against Motorsport. However, let's check back in with some of our usual suspects. So DZ, we saw them perform extremely well, but has dropped off in these most recent games. Danny is still going to be the player to watch. 7-2 so far. A very impressive score record and a rallying point for the Victory of Lords teams to get behind. Because Danny's been locking down this area along the corridors, going into the Egyptian section and Big Head with that BSW almost impossible to get past. Just goes out and instantly ventilates the opposition. Oh, apparently Kevin's not even max level? Gosh, maybe it's a new account. Kevin going charging up the stairs. Kizaru gets one, May trades back. 10 ahead for Victory of Lords. Could the dream be over for the American squad who've gotten so close to breaking the Victory of Lords streak? It's still on the cards for Motorsport to surprise as Kevin goes round and the gap starts to narrow. Victory of Lords, they cannot afford even the potential of a comeback here from the Motorsport side. This one last game to crown a championship team. 3 minutes left to play. Victory Lords still ahead. Our admin Citru and myself waiting eagerly to find out who will take home our grand prize today and can look back on 2018 as the time they either dominated or took down the dominating team of Modern Combat 5 Esports. Motorsports go charging in one by one. Kizaru has started to drop off dramatically based on their earlier, or compared to their earlier performance. The rest of the Motorsport team will need to go charging in and rectify that if they're going to be able to rescue this game. Bouncy in from the side with the slack, gets the reload through, takes the tag, back up to almost full health, and Chete finishes off the job. 4 kills, 5 kills, separating as Team Captain Stress charges in. It's going to be very, very tight towards the end. Xerxes calling for the boss, calling for more blood, calling for Victory of Lords to finish the job as Motorsport, they are so far behind. One more kill is gonna do it. We'll stick with, let's see, let's go with Danny, yes. The lodestone of the Victory of Lords lineup as Kevin and the rest of Motorsport go charging in. They can't afford to take one more kill, but Kizaru coming in, trying to force it, but ultimately it's not possible. Motorsport make one last leap at the championship, but they can't manage it. Victory of Lords only needed one kill, and that one kill was more than gleefully provided. Danny and Cheeto for the side of Vol. But Kevin, the standout player of that final game, incredibly impressive. I'm certain we'll be seeing a lot more of them. Motorsport fall just short of taking the finals and breaking Victory Lord's streak. Not going to manage it this time round, but certainly a team to watch from here on out. Oh boy, oh boy. So, on YouTube, Jacob Cornejo, yeah, that seems about right, has won our giveaway. We will set ourselves up with a Battle Royale to close out today's stream while we wait for them to come back in. Hunter of the Volley is the greatest? Well, they were pushed to the limit. They were pushed to the limit by Motorsport. I'm just going to double check because I'm being brought to hesitation for a second that is the end of our finals. Let me just check I haven't gone crazy. Yes, Museum was the final map. So that is all done and dusted. Guys, let's jump into a Battle Royale to end things out today. Jacob, you are here. So yes, please dog tag and platform. Guys from the stream, do come and join in with this instance of the Battle Royale. Let's all shoot each other in the face. Alright, alright, alright. So, guys, I'm just going to bring up my settings. Any of you guys... oh, actually, let's get a bit more of the field of view going on. Seems like it would be useful. Anything else we should be changing around? Oh, actually. Let's see. Customize HUD. There you go. Apparently, that's the thing. Oops. Alright, so I believe we had some calls for South Village before. I don't think we've spent a lot of time there, so let's give it a try. I think it might be one of those areas that I'm not sure if it's been fully developed as of yet, but well, I guess we'll find out when we head in. Thank you, of course, to Citru, our ESL admin for today, for keeping everything running nice and smooth all the way through. Let's see if we can find ourselves a gun. Got ourselves some decent attachments. Ooh, I'm pretty appalling with most snipers, but the A6 is pretty okay because we can fire multiple times. Man! Wow, it took a long time to kill him. Alright, Jacob. Thank you for your details. So with that, that will end out our stream for today and all of our material for this year. I hope you guys will come back and join us next year. We will be looking to have ourselves PC and Android monthly finals next year. So that should be a whole lot of fun. For now, please do follow Modern Combat already if you haven't on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch and Twitter. All that good stuff. You can of course find me at CounterfeitCast on Twitter and Counterfeit Stream on Twitch and of course my YouTube channel as well. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us through 2018, and I promise there will be some wonderful surprises in 2019. Hopefully keep going from strength to strength, and we'll catch you back here in 2019.